Hello, everyone, and welcome to Growing Up Alien with me and Andrea. I guess people have been asking for me, Andrea says.
Yeah.
So here I am.
Like,
And I'm very happy to be here. So thank you, Andrea, for doing this impromptu thing that we're doing tonight on I guess we're going to be talking about like New Age cults and
bullshit. Yeah, mostly bullshit.
just all the stuff that is going on that we're like, why? Why are people why are people following these people and like looking up to them like they're the new celebrities, the new age celebrities are the celebrities of the future instead of the celebrities that are falling at the moment, falling from grace. And now we've got these new ones that we can prop up that are all nice and pretty. And like, we were just talking about, people who talk to they'll talk to ETs or whatever you want to call them.
Who they think are
Star beings, that they
well,
think they're talking to
starving.
ETs. Yeah. And then they prop them up like they're some kind of messiah figure, or like they're like they know more than we know, and that they're just so much, more advanced than we are, so we should give away all of our power to them and just listen to what they have to say. And we don't know anything. Therefore, we have to talk to these star people to get our information because we can't possibly know anything.
Well, they're not. That's your red flag right there.
Yeah.
They're not talking to star people, folks. Think we all know.
And if they are, they're like taking whatever they're saying and completely twisting it or putting their spin on it.
Yeah, I've never talked to
Yeah.
any star person that talks like the way they talk.
Yeah. No, they don't.
No, they don't.
They
They
just
don't. They're just.
they
I'm
just
just
talk like we talk. They're
like
just
them.
normal, like everyday conversation.
Yeah, yeah, and they never ever talk down to you like you're 3 years old or
Yeah.
the mansplaining thing, so women
Yep.
can explain too. It's the concept of mansplaining. Like, I always tell people like, oh, please, explain it to me like I'm four, which is what they do.
Yeah.
Like, and here's what you got to think for yourself. You need to be a free thinker. You need to have self-responsibility, but and here's how you're going to do it. It's like,
Yeah.
and then you talk to people who like completely mesmerize, or, like completely memorized and follow some person or some group, you know.
Yep.
I've watched and they'll even tell you, and I was just like, everybody just sitting there going, I've watched all this and that and this person, this ET, and I've memorized everything they said about this and that. And like, yeah, that's scary, actually. That's a little,
Or
but,
or they have the book that the person
oh,
has written
yeah.
about the ET, and they have everything underlined
Oh,
just like you would underline a Bible, and they have those passages memorized like you would memorize passages in a Bible.
yes, it's,
They're basically turning it into another religion.
yes,
Yeah. It's scary.
it's scary. It's
We don't need
frightening.
any more religions. We don't.
It's frightening.
We're good.
A new thing too that's been coming out is people who have readings from people. And I
Yeah.
know I know a lot of people who give the readings, they're all like, that's fucked. They're like, oh, I had this reading with this person, and I'm like, and like, I want to just tell you all about how amazing I am. It's like
Yeah.
no one really wants to know that. It's like everybody,
Yeah.
it's like, and the people who give the readings are like, I never expected that to happen. They're like, you know,
Yeah.
they're all
Well,
like,
yeah, exactly. They weren't
they're
doing
like,
it to try to prop you up in any
no,
way.
they were just
They were
getting
just
information, and right. That's just
they were passing it along, and then you just took it and ran with it.
right. Like everyone has an Akashic record. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, yes, but I am the
Everyone's
queen of
had
Akashic.
past
Like okay, it's like
I'm sure everyone's had like some very interesting past lives too.
sure,
But not everyone is, has been a king or a queen in their past life. Maybe some have, maybe some
yeah.
people have, but that doesn't mean that you're any less of a person because you haven't been a queen in a past life or a king or
And
whatever.
that's what they're doing. It's like it's just a total ego party.
Yeah.
Like I've even like I have, our friend, and like there's this some people like record these things.
Hmm.
Like, and she's like, what the you like, dude recorded it. I'm like, no, I know. It's like so weird. She's like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I know. It's like I've had a Akashic, you've had a Akashic. In fact, I can do a Akashic. It's like everybody can. You just think you can, so you don't. And it's just like
Right.
it's not, yeah. And I go on it and I do the Akashic reading with Eka. Like I'll do his.
Yeah.
I've never,
It,
with Will, I mean, that's the thing. It's like our relationship is just husband and wife. It's nothing like he doesn't talk down to me. He never talks down to me.
right. He wouldn't.
He talks with me. Like, I mean, there's some stuff he can't tell me only because he's super protective,
Hmm.
like a trauma response. So
Right.
he's like overprotective. And so he doesn't tell me a lot of stuff because of that. But other than that, but it's not because like, yeah, it's is it a personality? Like, yeah, they're dealing with personality stuff, just like we all
Yeah.
are. It's like, yeah, which is, where we're kind of leaning with some of this is like, when you're talking about manifestation and free will and all these kinds of things, if somebody's telling you how to do it, they're controlling you.
Yeah.
They're taking away your free will.
Right.
And if
It's not like they're giving you guidance. It's
right,
more than that. It's more than that. If you're if you're looking to somebody for guidance, that's one thing, but when you're taking it to the point of they're the only ones who have the answer.
right, you're looking for it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's people who are looking for an answer, and they want
Yeah.
some kind of God figure to give them, expert, whatever you want to call it, to give them that answer.
And sometimes they want a definitive answer, which is not
It's not gonna happen.
quite possible in the moment,
Right. I want a
like it,
definitive answer too. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
It's and then these, even the ETs don't know what source is. And there's a dime a dozen on the internet. Everybody, this is what your life is. This is why you incarnate. And before you incarnated, you made these decisions and you did this, and this is what it's like, and this is what, when you die, this happens. It's like, even we don't know that.
Yeah.
What does it mean to be out of your body, decorporated back to where you came from, whatever that means? I don't know.
Mm,
Nobody knows. Even the Andromedans don't know.
mm,
I don't know. Here's some schmuck who comes out of nowhere and knows more than you know cultures that are millions of years more advanced.
right.
But if you want to smoke that stuff, do yours. I mean, that's free will.
Right.
If you want to, drink the Kool-Aid or smoke their weed, do it. If it makes you
You
happy, that's
you're choosing your own path,
yeah,
really. You're
yeah,
it's up to you what you want to do while you're here. It's
right,
just like, you're going for a long hike and you get to choose which way you go.
yeah, right. And some people just want to have somebody else, lay out all the best, and then that's ultimately where we're going, where you're going to have self-responsibility. So there isn't
Hmm.
going to be technically anybody there that's going to be your teacher, that's going to be your, put your diaper on and all that stuff. That's going to be all gone, and that's what the cabal did was
Hmm.
arrange everything where you're just kept, you know.
Yeah.
We're all being, the cabal has us, we're just livestock. That's basically what it is.
And then you don't trust your own instincts anymore. You don't
Yeah,
trust your own
yeah,
internal compass that you have. The more that you trust your own judgment, the
yeah,
better you get at it.
yeah,
And if you allow yourself to make some mistakes here and there, well, just say, okay, I made that mistake, but I'm learning.
yeah,
you know
yeah,
I had to make that mistake to learn not to do that.
right, right. Well, we all do. Yeah, we
Yeah.
all, I mean, if like, yeah, I mean, I've been through grade school like that, and all the brainwashing in grade school, and all the teachers controlling you and using fear and punishment, and it's, yeah. Yeah, I had to learn that, it's not okay for people to yell at me, because I thought, oh, I mean, yeah, I,
Right.
you know, I mean, they're instructing me, because I'm not okay. I need to be instructed, So
Yeah.
yeah, we've all been through the shit show. We've all,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, and we all crawled our way. That's why I tell people, look, if I could crawl my way out of the matrix and psychological abuse and all that stuff, like you can.
Mm.
It's a lot of
Right.
work. It's a lot of work,
Yeah, it's not easy.
No,
It's, it really like it's the you're really kind of taking the harder path to just not go along with everything.
yeah,
Because when you go along with everything, it does seem a little bit easier. You just do what everybody else is doing. The path is worn. You already see where you're supposed to walk and the footprints are there to follow. It's easy. But you're going to end up in the same shit show with everyone else. Um,
yeah,
doing the same things that are not necessarily, you know, the best for you,
yeah,
I guess is the way to put it.
yeah. It's
So, I mean, because they don't have your best interest in mind, the powers that be or whatever you want to call them.
of course not. No, they have their yeah,
So they're not looking out for you. So if you go along with whatever they already have set up, it's not going to put you in a better standing or better footing than anybody else who's also doing the same things and you don't see them. I mean, they may look like they're getting ahead, but they're not really.
no, yeah. Well, the powers that be have disdain for you. They hate
Hmm.
you.
Yeah.
They hate you. You're nothing. It's yeah, yeah. It's
You're
and
kind of like in the way,
yeah,
you know. You're
yeah,
really just in the way.
yeah.
And they're trying to just I feel like they're just trying to get rid of everybody. That's what the reset is
Oh,
about, trying to just eliminate as many
yeah,
human beings on
yeah.
the earth as possible and just keep it for them so that they can enjoy it. And, you know, it's just almost like when there's too many mosquitoes at the beach, and you have to get rid of the mosquitoes so you can enjoy the beach.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I feel like that's what they're doing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, that's why I keep trying to pull up my phone here because I have the notes on there that we're going to talk about. That I want to. So one of the things we were going to would mention was this whole, the love and light movement, and of course, none of us are ever saying that there's that love is. We know, and of course, a lot of our viewers who have extraterrestrial relationships, we know what love is. Right? You're not saying it is bliss, and it's really one of the main, isn't it? Wasn't it wonderful, right? Who doesn't want a utopia? We do. But I mean, we get all that, but it's like, it's not real. It's just not reality. We don't live in a utopia. I mean, it's like, it's upstairs doesn't live in a utopia. I mean,
Yeah.
if we had a utopia, neither of us would be doing this right now.
Right.
We'd be back at Era. I'd be in my house. He could be there. You and Will would be my neighbor. We'd all be there and relaxing, having a wonderful time.
Oh yeah.
Right. We would not be here. So it's like, I think it's yeah. And like Will wouldn't be on the moon doing tech and Eeka wouldn't be working with the military. Like they wouldn't be there. No,
No.
no. Well, Will was lucky. I mean, leaving Sirius B. That was
Oh
a
yeah.
that was a life and death situation.
Yeah. And he is very, very grateful for that. But yeah,
Yeah, he was a
it,
refugee,
he's not in the best position now, but it's better than where he was
He
for
was gonna
sure.
he wouldn't have, yeah, he was gonna be killed, And then this is
Yeah.
what drives me crazy, and you hear these people and they're all and we all know it, it's really coming from the you have to be careful now because everything's getting super censored. The three-letter agencies, we'll just call it that.
Yeah.
That's who's actually handling a lot of these people who are channeling and doing all these. Not all channelers, by the way, not all channelers, but
Right.
a lot of the ones that are spewing bullshit. They're actually, and it's not their fault. We say it's not their fault. They're under MK Ultra.
Yeah.
They're getting MK Ultra, and
Yeah.
that's feeding. And that information was like, oh yeah, but these people are just like sound like Mr. Rogers, and it's all about love, and they're talking about just being so wonderful and seeing all the positive. Yeah, that's a lot of what they're going to feed you is that exactly that.
Yeah.
That's MK Ultra. That's not real. It ain't
Well,
all fairies and yeah. Yeah. It's like,
Well, they want to keep you under control.
Yeah.
So it's easier to do it just to make you just to say, oh, don't, just allow it to happen, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how they,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, that's exact. Yeah. I mean, and this is what I try to kind of scream at people. It's like, that's the mind control to make you passive.
yeah,
They're telling you don't fight back. They're telling you, oh, if you just sit in a corner and meditate and stare at a wall all day and love and do your yoga and and just eat all the crunchy vegetables and everything, it'll be wonderful. Like, no, no,
yeah. I mean, if the majority of people did that, then they would win.
but they're not.
No.
But it's you have to fight back. You have to fight back.
Yeah. You have to take a stand,
You have to take a
stand up for
stand. Yeah.
yourself. Yeah.
I mean, they're not doing that upstairs, folks. They're working long hours. They're working like they're working. Like if you could, this idea of you can manifest anything you want. Like, no, you can't. No, you can't. If you could do that, don't you think the people upstairs would be doing that?
Well, the other thing too is that if everybody is manifesting everything they want all at one time, certain manifestations will conflict with other people's
Yeah,
manifestations. So it wouldn't work. You'd all have to want the same thing at the
yeah,
same time
yeah.
for it in order for it to happen. So that's the problem is I mean, there's too many people that want different things.
Right? Like,
So how are you going to manifest the one singular thing that would
yeah.
actually keep us together as a whole?
There's plenty of bad guys manifesting what they want,
Right.
which
And
is
they have a system. They know how to do
yeah,
it
they do.
because they all come together in unison and do it. We don't have that. And that's why there's just too much why they keep us divided and
Yeah.
thinking different things because the more that they can do that, the more control they have because
It's
they only have one control mechanism and that's how they keep it going.
it's a mind control war. This is a mind control war.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's and the mind control can be anywhere. And that's you don't know who you're listening to who's probably compromised
Yeah.
or partially compromised, partially not compromised. It's just whatever, but you can feel like it doesn't resonate.
Yeah, you can feel it
And
for
that's
sure.
where it's like, well, this sounds like bullshit. If it sounds like if it sounds like bullshit, it's probably bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's yeah, and like I said, it's not that they're trying to bullshit on purpose. Some are, you know, but a lot of them are being handled. They're being
Yeah.
fed information.
Well,
So
and another thing that the way they control it is by putting out a lot of disinformation
yes, right.
and also putting out possibilities and fear that could make us think that, oh, this is going to happen, and then get people afraid of that happening. And then
Well,
it
yeah.
happens.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, that's why when we remote view, you're just seeing possibilities.
right.
So that's the thing with a remote view is it's just possibilities, not to scare people, not to this or that. But you allow yourself to be scared. No one can actually scare you.
Yeah,
You
that's
look at
true.
the information, you go, here it is. Okay, I'll take it and decide what I want to do with it. Right. So
Exactly.
it's just the information that you're being given and what might happen, a possibility. Or
Right.
what sometimes what your remote view is what people are thinking,
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
true.
It's
Yeah,
it's
that is true.
yeah, so you don't be shooting the messenger, which was happened to our friend when she correctly remote viewed, but it didn't happen because it got shifted. So you don't well, that's the thing, because everything becomes a religion.
Right.
People give away their power and they just start worshiping stuff.
Right. And also you have to like when you're remote viewing and when you're channeling or whatever, you might be seeing a different timeline
Yeah, you don't know what
because they shift. They also shift. So it could be a timeline that's very, very close to the one that we're on.
yeah.
And then it shifts between the time that you're seeing it and the time that it actually
Yep.
happens. Or you're just seeing a totally different timeline that isn't going to happen.
It isn't right. Right.
So
And that can shift in the last minute. You just, yeah.
exactly. So it's just that's why you can't, I don't think anybody that I know of who channels or who remote views ever says, "Oh, this is definitive."
Yeah. And even
Yeah.
the far side doesn't say that either.
No, they
No.
don't.
There's like
No.
well, that's Courtney Brown always says, we'll know what happened in January when January comes. It's like,
Exactly. Yes.
that's the way, that's the way the cookie crumbles. So, and I always tell people too, like the same with the ETs, they're not going to tell you what they're going to do. If we're in a battle situation, you're not going to give
Yeah.
away your position and your tactics to the enemy.
Yeah.
That's nonsense. So anybody who's telling you this is what they're going to do, I would be really suspect about that.
Right.
It's like, if you're in a battle situation, you're not going to give away information. Like,
No, especially to somebody who's got millions of followers on social media and and they're the ones that are telling you. I mean, they know that you're going to put it out there. You think they're going to
oh, it's eye
tell
candy.
you?
It's
Yeah.
ear candy. It's ear candy. People want to, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's again, it's you have the right to decide where you want to put your intent, and so well, that's why I keep my phone keeps going off, and I made a couple of notes. Like I today, this struck me a few things. I watch different things and I get ideas, and but I said, like, isn't it odd, how this love and light community are always trying to convince you to only think like them. Somebody else mentioned this too, and see everything from the right perspective.
Yeah.
And their perspective is the right perspective. And if you're not going along with it, then, you're misinformed or whatever they call it. So that's a red flag. I mean, that's right there is, that's a
And
doctrine.
and they call you the disinformation agent because
Right.
you're going against what they're saying.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
That's why I say I never follow any gurus.
Yeah.
I just don't. I mean, and because we don't have gurus. Well, we have wise people. That's a little bit, but again,
Yeah. Elders, wise elders.
yeah, I mean, and I don't really even spend a lot of time with them either. I spend
Mhm.
a little bit here and there, but it's like, I mean, I just don't think they get it. I mean, for me, it's like you're not in this shit show. I
Right.
never listen to anybody who's not in the shit show. It's like you
Right.
don't know what it's like unless you're here.
Yeah.
Boots on the ground. Whether you're ET boots on the ground or Terran boots on the ground, it's yeah. You don't know what it's like to have to go to work, or you don't know what it's like to not go to work. You don't know what it's like to have to pay bills. You don't know what it's like to do this or that or that.
They don't know how cold the water is in this lake.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. It's the whole when you hear these supposed information from these wise non-physical or whatever you want to call them, whoever they're coming from, is like, dude, there's people here that don't know how they're going to pay their rent next month. There's people here who are deciding how they're going to buy food.
Yes.
So basically what you're saying is there must be something wrong with them because they're not living just be happy.
Yeah.
Just be happy. Everything is going to fall into place, and then the person's homeless.
Right. Oh, and then also blame the victim for being that in that position to begin with.
Right. Oh, you must have manifested.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's just all. I mean, that's how you know it's the deep state.
Mm.
It's
Yep.
blaming the person.
They blame the victim, first of all. Yep.
Yeah. For living in a fucked up place where we're living in here. This is a shit show here. Earth is a fucking prison. And they're acting like, oh, you're just experiencing.
Yeah.
Would you walk up to an ex-military person who had their legs blown off and be like, oh, it's so wonderful that you had your legs blown off. Are you enjoying the experience? You must have wanted that before you came in.
Oh, yeah. Right, right, right.
I always tell these people, really? You should walk up to somebody whose little 5-year-old or 6-year-old kid just died of cancer. And
Right,
you tell them that, oh, that was for a reason. See, what did you learn from that?
right.
They're fucking
Also, the what? people who've had their children kidnapped, that
Yeah,
too.
and eaten. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
like, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's just my like, yeah. That's how you know it's just bull. I mean, honestly, we're just fooling around here, but this is bullshit. That's just total bullshit.
yeah.
That's all it is. And it's like, I just watched something on the med beds, like, you can heal your own body. And that's true. You can. But
Mm,
are you gonna fucking grow back an arm? It's like, to me, a med bed is someone who's missing an arm. Um,
mm.
I have a neighbor who has no guts left. They had to take out her because she has an autoimmune thing, like neurological.
Wow.
Yep, she has no guts. Like, so you think that she's gonna like just grow those back?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, like that to me, what a med bed is for. People who
Yeah,
limbs, people who have autoimmune disease, people who have like really serious conditions.
yeah,
I mean, if you're sick because you're eating garbage food, that's on you.
right.
You've just been in a car accident and you don't have a leg now. You need a med
Mm,
bed. But according to
right.
these people, apparently there's something in your life that caused you to use your leg, your thought processes.
Mm, right. Yeah, you must have imagined
You
that
have
too
a
much. You
generational
had,
hang up. You're carrying your ancestors' wounds.
yes, that's the other one. Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's such shit. I mean, it's like, fuck that, like, oh my God. It's just, yeah. I mean, like, I know it's everywhere. It's literally and that's like, and people are drinking and smoking this stuff. It's like, dude, like,
Mm.
and you just don't understand the depth of the evil we're dealing with here. The depth. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
Oh,
people are still in denial of all of that. I can't believe with all the stuff that's coming out right now, about the celebrities and about all the stuff that they've been up to. And I had somebody on my TikTok say, uh, "Oh, well, they're just celebrities having fun at parties. That's all it is." I'm like, okay, that's what you want to believe. Yeah, just wow.
yeah, a
They don't
lot of
want
people
to,
just they can't process the darkness.
no.
But it's going to be in their face pretty soon.
They're going to have to acknowledge it at least.
I
It's,
don't know what's going to happen to a lot of those people. It's just, and that's free will though. But now that is free will.
yeah.
Yeah. If you want to keep your head up your arse, you can, you know.
Yeah.
But, it's
They're like, oh, I don't, there needs to be more evidence of it. Okay.
all over the place, dude. It's all over. Evidence is everywhere, it's just
Wow.
it's
Yeah.
if you don't look it up, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not sure, but yeah, then it's the same thing as the people who don't be, well, it's just there's no good in evil. Like, you don't think eating a little kid alive is evil?
Yeah.
Don't judge. Like, I don't know. The
Don't judge.
Yeah,
What?
judging. Like, I don't know. The ETs think that's fucked.
Yeah,
They're
that's
like,
the other thing,
you
the
know,
whole like
yeah,
don't not judging people for their proclivities. I mean, that's a
yeah.
little bit.
Like, well, okay,
Sometimes maybe you do need to judge. Sometimes. Like when it comes to
common sense. It's just common.
that,
Yeah.
yeah, like no, that's never going to be okay.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, we're 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 fighting up. They've been fighting upstairs for a long time.
Mm,
They're still
yeah.
fighting up there now. You know what they're doing? They're pushing out the evil. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
But no judgment on the evil. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't judge that.
They just blowing each other's asses off. Right. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. It's and you like I was just saying that I wrote this morning saying, that these people are shoving down a lot of people's throats. The ET are all these advanced, benevolent, passive Mr. Rogers types. They just happen to have, and I said, well, really? There are all these touchy feelies. They just happen to have massive military organizations up there. What for? Why if they're so touchy feely, lovey lovey, why do they have weapons on their ships?
Right.
I mean, you
If there's no good and evil outside of our little world,
yeah.
then why are they having battles out in space? Why
Oh,
are they having
yeah.
why are people from different galaxies fighting each other?
Yeah, big time. And that's where we came from in our own history. It was brutal. It was absolutely horrific. It was horrific. Um, they're blowing planets up. I mean, massive loss of life. Massive.
And people may think that it doesn't affect us here because we're just on this little planet and no, it's not going to affect us, but everything affects everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it does affect us.
Well, to
Just
me,
because we're not seeing it in front of us doesn't mean it's not happening and it's not affecting us.
yeah, I've noticed a lot of these people is so strange. It's almost like they're creating that. There's this thinking of like the Earth is somehow like, well, almost like the Earth is the center, and everything else is around. Like there's the like somehow the Earth is different from other planets. Like no, you're just another planet. And now they're taking the we're removing the garbage from this planet.
Yeah.
We're taking out the garbage. We just are here now. We've been taking out the garbage on other planets, but now, I mean, you can only do so much all at once because the garbage was everywhere. And you take
And
out the worst garbage before,
and we've done this before. This has happened over and over and over again on this
and just
planet.
constantly. Yeah, yeah.
It's not something new.
No, no. It's just weird, it's an occupation. We now they that's what these bad guys do. They go to different planets and they take them over. I
Yeah.
mean, if you look at the Greys got screwed. They got screwed over big time. They're like not even, they lost their whole sense of who they are as beings. It's very sad. That's what
Well,
they're,
that's what they're trying to do to humans. Yeah.
that's what they're trying to do here.
That's
Yeah,
what they're
exactly.
trying to do here. It's I guess sort of an AI thing. Is that what it is? It's just
Yeah,
AI
it's
taking
combination.
over everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the goal is to turn well, I think they're going to the goal would to get rid of a lot of humans so they don't need them, but to
Yeah.
turn some into like AI server, like the Greys. That's what they were. They're
So cyborgs,
oh,
turning them into cyborgs.
they're like a drone.
Servants
Yeah,
basically, and that's what they're trying to do to
absolutely.
what to the humans. And that's why, they're trying to show us like, oh yeah, see just get this little Neuralink implant in your head and
Right.
you'll be, it'll be great. You can just do whatever you want, you know,
Well,
total freedom.
a lot of your secret space program at MK Ultra people already have that.
Mm.
That's not new tech.
No, no, it's definitely not.
And
But
they,
it's being presented as it's new.
yeah,
And the people who are here don't know any different because they don't know anything about the, our history's been hidden from us. So they don't know, what's happened in the past and that this is all just happening again.
yeah.
And that the
People
people
who've
have
been in
gone
the secret
underground
space
and
program and
hidden.
all that, they get MRIs. You can see all the chips in their head.
Mm.
Oftentimes they'll go and get MRIs. All the chips will come up, and then the people who do the MRI disappear.
Hmm.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
proof. There's proof out there. Tons of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. They've been chipped, and yeah, everybody's been chipped. It's
Yeah, this isn't new. I mean, people think it is new technology and that all of this technology is new, but it's been around a very long time.
very long. Yeah. Yeah. And it's not just, it's ET, it's a bad ET, bad human alliance.
Hmm.
And that's the way it rolls. It is just so much. That's when you start to, you got to you got to really almost look at everything as mind control. Everything is mind control until you can prove it otherwise. You have to be so careful. It's so slippery. It's just, they're brilliant in what they've been doing because a lot of this is ET tech and
Yeah.
the exploitation and occupation methods are ET. And you're looking at the Greys, they're millions of years more advanced.
Hmm.
You have these societies are just magnificent. when it comes to this kind of stuff. Yeah. You know, you it's an amazing chess game. So challenging. It's so challenging.
Absolutely.
And the
Yeah.
worst part about Earth was trying to work with populations that are going against their own best wishes. They're just going against themselves. They're so deep into it that, you know, so many Terrans are just lost.
Yeah, sadly.
And I think it, and I do think it's a genetic. I don't think it's, you know, it was the worship gene that the Anunnaki put in. I really think that's what some people carry.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, that's something that I remember as a kid wondering about people because I never had that.
No,
I
I
never
never
had
had
that
it.
worship gene, and I just would remember watching people around me doing it and thinking, why are they acting like that? It's
That
so bizarre.
is
It's just so weird. Like, why would you want to do that? It's I don't know.
no, it's
I don't
a,
get it.
it is genetic. I really do. I don't think
Mm.
it's well. That's why, you know, people who are envoys or star seeds and walk-ins are. That's why we're here, because it was the only way.
Yeah.
See, your average Terran has been so genetically manipulated that they're gone.
Yeah.
And the only way to actually save this planet is to stop Earth becoming the Death Star, which was then going to be, this was the launch pad for all of it. It could have been a galactic takedown.
Hmm.
So the only way they could do it, see, a lot of the other civilizations that were under the control of the Draco or different groups like that, their occupied, colonized native civilization wasn't genetically manipulated. So they were able to
Mm.
think. They're like, oh, this is, you know, they were oppressed militarily, brutal, you know, murder and like I
Mm.
said, this is not one of the worst planets. Stuff that's
No.
on other planets is horrific, has been horrific. Um, but the genetic manipulation on this planet made it impossible for your average Terran to ever be able to liberate themselves.
Yeah.
So the only way to stop what would have been extremely dangerous ultimately was to seed it from within and try to like launch a coup from the inside.
Right.
So we shall see where that leads to. It's still
Yeah, it's hard to watch.
it,
And
it,
we're
it,
here. We're part of it. But it's like I don't, yeah, it must be frustrating for ETs that aren't even here, that are watching it
yeah,
and going, "Oh man, why did they do that?" Just yeah.
what I mean, they're just bad. I mean, they're bad people. The
Yeah.
bad groups.
Hmm.
What they do. I mean, that's
Well,
what.
I mean, but like them watching humans continue to make the bad choices must be very frustrating for them to watch.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, but they know that it's a genetic thing. Because
Yeah, I mean,
our
knowing it's genetic doesn't make it any easier. Like, you know that certain uh certain some people are gonna just do things because that's the way they were raised or whatever. Doesn't make it any easier watching them do it though,
no,
you know?
I mean, it's just
It's
it's
frustrating.
they're like pulling their hair out, you know, trying to like,
Yeah,
because they could never give the information. They were trying to give the information, trying to infiltrate the information, but no
right.
one, you know, and then of course for most of our viewers who are, you know, they're all on our, you know, they're all with us. They know it's like, you know, who would you talk to? Who would you tell you were abducted? Who would you this? Who would you that? You know,
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
the crazy person, right? So,
People tried. There were humans that did try to tell people, and there still are. I mean, I was watching a lady on YouTube the other day was talking about herself being sex trafficked as a child, as very young, as a toddler, and she was on this other platform. I'm not going to say who, but the guy who was interviewing her was very insensitive and very like almost like re-victimizing her all over again and trying to get her to name names
oh yeah,
and just re-victimizing her, making her tell her story over and over again, um, saying, why didn't you tell somebody?
Mhm.
I mean, you're a toddler. Who
Oh
are you
yeah,
going to tell?
right. Of course not. Yeah, no, no.
I mean, he was just, it was horrible. It was horrible watching that. And then I'm just thinking, how can people want to come forward when they see that happening to people, other people who are coming forward?
Well, I mean, and that's where that, the decisions, do you really care what other people think? That's
Yeah,
part of your
but
own.
that's the problem is like, watching her, I felt her. I
Yeah.
felt her reliving her experiences while this guy was interviewing her, and he had no compassion at all for her. And then also kind of scrutinizing her and making her relive it. I mean, just I don't know, just the way he
Well,
was
part of that is
approaching it.
yeah, part of that is stepping into your own power at that point. So she would be aware that these things could happen and to
Yeah,
create,
I'm sure she was. Yeah,
but you just
I'm
don't
sure she
know.
was.
The thing is with something like that, when someone's becoming an aggressor, right? You need to have a boundary in place to retaliate to that. You don't just keep
Yeah,
acting nice like everything's great and
no, she wasn't. No, but what it basically what I feel like it was like she came on and she had in advance agreed to I guess she had agreed to name names.
oh,
And
okay.
this guy was just looking for views. He
Of
was just
course.
looking for viewers. And he has a huge platform.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say who he was, but he has a huge platform. And he just knew that she was going to get him a lot of views. And
Mhm.
he just looked at her as like money, you
Of
know.
course. Yeah.
It wasn't about anything else. It's a very cheesy TV show
Yeah.
or YouTube show. So but I guess she must have in advance had agreed to name names at some point. So he called her out on it and said, are you going to name names? You told me you were going to name names.
Well, change your
And
mind.
she wasn't feeling comfortable about it all of a sudden. And I don't blame her. It was because of him. It was because of the way he was approaching her and the
Yeah.
way he was asking her questions. He wasn't giving her a safe place. So she was just feeling like, oh, maybe I don't want to name names now. You know what I mean?
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't name them, but I never let any other human control me ever.
Yeah. No, that I
Ever.
wouldn't. I
Yeah.
wouldn't either. I wouldn't have even gone on his show
Yeah.
because
No, I don't.
if you look at that guy in his show, you go, oh no, this guy, no.
Yeah.
He's not gonna be he's not gonna be somebody I want to talk to.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's
So
not. I actually like talking to people like that. I'm their worst nightmare. I, I
I
honestly,
wish you would go on his show. I
I
would love to
would.
see
I
that.
would. And that guy's gonna be. I castrate him in 2 seconds. Yeah. I mean, that's what
Yeah,
that's what
I would love to
boundaries,
see that.
the boundaries are. First of all, no other person, can control how you feel. Only when you allow them to control how you feel or how you feel about yourself or how you think about stuff, you're giving away your power to them.
Mm.
So I can't tell you how many times I get mansplained by people and I immediately know what it is and I can feel it right away and I just shut them off.
Yeah,
So it's,
same.
let me say something like, oh, explain it to me like I'm a 4-year-old,
Hmm.
and you have to really, just be in your own presence, and it's just, people are going to understand, Pleiadian women are badass. Like we don't give a shit. Like we are I mean, yeah. And a lot of
I
people,
don't.
I mean, a lot of people don't like a hell
Yeah.
because if we don't like you, you're gonna know. So a lot of people don't like that
No,
because
I don't really. I personally don't care what anybody thinks about me. I
yeah,
really don't care.
nope, nope.
I never have. Yeah.
So what Eeka
Don't
does,
care.
like he doesn't, he doesn't lie to say because he has to be careful what he talks about. The only reason he's careful what he does is because if he truly expressed himself the way he would like to, he's going to have to go back upstairs and they're going to move him somewhere else. So he knows he doesn't want that. The reason he's here is to be here. So um, when he's talking to assholes, because they are,
Yeah.
He's just they're very cold. Like they're very rigid, very like he has no expression, like nothing. You just stare at him, won't even answer him.
Yeah.
And that's the boundary. I mean, he's not gonna, he has to be, like I said, he has to play a couple of roles there. He has to be careful what he says. Because would he really like to like take him out? Probably. We are violent. We're not just peaceful, like we're a fourth dimension, fourth density, like many other fourth density ETs. And we don't have
Yeah.
a problem with, smacking you, like literally.
Right.
So it's like, he can't do that because, obviously he'd be called upstairs and they'd be, you know, he'd be moved.
Yeah.
So it's,
Should be,
yeah,
it's like getting called to the principal's office.
right, right. And
When you said that, he'd be
this
called
is what they're
upstairs.
doing because it's like, um, the extraterrestrial military, and they have their own issues, but that they're trying to negotiate and work with human military. They know what's going on in the SSP. And I don't want to say too much here because I don't know how, the SSP is part of the deep state.
Yeah.
It's yeah, I mean, it's basically they're working with the enemy. They're trying to break down the different players in these, or I mean, and I'm not, all peace requires here. Look, a lot of humans are assholes.
Yeah.
A lot of humans that join the military, particularly in higher ranks, not all of them, but many of them are assholes. They're psychopaths.
Mhm.
Not all of them.
Yeah.
That's who they're trying to work with. So they know how to do this. It's a manipulation campaign because if you have an officer who's a psychopath, what is it that this guy wants? And that's how you work with it. So
Right.
so they're not working with these people think. They're not working with morality. They're working with manipulation.
Yes.
So you have to work. This is why I can't stand all this love and light bullshit. You have to manipulate individuals who are psychopathic because they're there
Yeah.
and they're real. And that's what the ETs are doing. It's a mind control, but they're not using mind. They can use mind. They can do that. They could, like, Eeka can walk in there with an officer in mind control.
Jedi mind tricks.
They can do that.
Yep.
It's frowned upon, so they don't do that because you can imagine if that gets out of hand, what can happen.
Yeah.
I've had
Yeah.
that to me. I had a hell man mind read me, find my weakest link, and then he threw it back at me.
Mm.
And I told him, I said, "Oh, you don't do that ever." And he disappeared. He never came back to me again because I said something else to him too. I won't say it here. And then I went upstairs and I'm like, "Do you want me to work with this guy again?" And they're like, "Yeah, you can," but he's never like come by. He's never come back. So,
Ah.
you know, when you have mind reading and mind and the ability to mind control, that's a power, and they can do that. And so it's like everything's a chess game. That's really the best way to describe it. It's not this bullshit of love that people think it is. It's not. Are they capable of amazing love? Well, yes, right, yes. But they have a personality that's everywhere, all over. You know, and sometimes Eeka is very childlike, absolutely so sweet. Like literally, I feel like he's like a little 5-year-old. That's the joy I feel like. Other times he's angry, and I mean, like my whole body becomes rigid with his anger. It's like that's how angry he gets. Other times
Wow.
we cry together. Like he can't process some of the stuff. What he does is he compartmentalizes stuff. So when I enter his, I mean, they don't have the mind, and so they don't have they can use their whole brain. So I get a
Yeah.
glimpse of what that's like because I'm in this body where I can't use all my brain.
Yeah. Right. Right.
So, but I can kind of almost feel that expansiveness from his mind.
Right. Yes.
And
Yes.
it's just, I just think there's just so much bullshit and nonsense. And again, it's the MK Ultra. That's really infiltrated, and it makes, we're in a war. So when you have a bunch of people that are the enemy combatants, you want to control the propaganda, the information the enemy combatants are putting out. And that's what they're doing.
Right. Yeah.
And it's been increased now because we're at the end. So
Right.
it's intense right now. It's intense. It is intense.
Yes.
And so channels like this are being watched
Hmm.
because we're not talking the love and light bullshit.
Yeah.
We're not
We're not with,
sanitizing things, you know? We're not
we're
telling
not with,
people to worship stuff. We're telling
right.
people what it's really like.
Yes.
And that's what they don't want. We're telling people what the
Right.
ETs are really doing, and that's what they don't want.
We're the rebels.
We're the resistance. We're the resistance.
Yeah.
And our viewers are the resistance, you know? Because so many people who watch this channel, they're all like, shit, this is what I fucking been looking for. I'm like, yeah, me too. That's why I did it. You know, I'm so sick
Mm.
and tired of bullshit and being like mansplained by these, you know, Mr. Rogers neighborhood bullshit artists. And I'm like, no, no, don't you mind. You're not going to mind control me. That's what they try to do. They try to mind control you.
Hmm.
You don't
Mani-
understand. I'm
it's
like,
all
oh,
manipulation.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. See that's what these guys have done. Like the MK Ultra have seized onto certain channels or into certain people, and then they began to manipulate the content through
Yeah.
that person. Then
Right.
what happens is the people that watch that are then easily they're mind controlled now because they have the worship gene. So when they see someone talking on like this looks like TV to them. I'm just sitting in my bedroom. You're sitting in your house. We're just two regular people. I was cleaning
Hmm.
horse stalls today and picking paddocks and moving shit around. You know, that's what I was doing all day. Neither of us are you know, actors.
Mm.
But what happens to, and this is why I'm saying this, because but when you're watching someone on a show, like this looks like a show to someone.
Yeah.
It's part of
Right.
the religion of celebrity. It's part of the religion of TV.
Right.
TV is a mind programming, that's what I call it. TV is mind control. Social media, the internet, all of these things, all of these platforms are mind control. When you watch TV and when you watch the internet, knowing at all times these are mind control devices, then you watch it differently.
Yeah.
And then when you start asking yourself, how come one guy on his show can't talk about toothpaste because they took his channel down? Because he talked about
Yeah.
they took his channel
Yes.
down for a week.
Yes.
There
Right.
are there how much snake oil medical advice is on YouTube?
Mm.
Mind-numbing numbers, right? So
Yeah.
another thing that happens is these mind-controlled channels then go on other people's channels and they flag them.
Mm. Right.
That is what you're seeing happening. That is
Yep. That's right. That's how
that's
they
what
identify them. Right. You're
yep,
right.
yep, because you have a lot of these people with a lot of viewers talking about this stuff that are working for the enemy
Right.
because they're getting a lot of this. And that's how they can, we all know, right? That's what you got to pay the bills.
Yeah. And
And
that's how they control people too, is because
yeah,
these some of these YouTube channels make a lot of money.
the
I don't make any
honey
money.
pot, honey pots.
Yeah.
And it's easy to, yeah. And some of these people, they don't have a choice. They've been mafiaed, you know.
Yeah.
They still get a lot of money and a lot of goodies, you know, but they're like, if you don't do this, you know, this is going to happen. Or if you don't do that, this is going to happen. We're going to kill your kids. We're going to do this. We're going to, you know, we're going to put child porn on your computer.
Yeah, nobody wants to believe that. Nobody
Oh, it's
wants to
real.
believe that
Oh,
that's
it's
real.
real.
Yeah.
I know, and you and I and most of our viewers know they've met people have had this happen to them.
Yeah.
You get a knock on the door or whatever, and it's like, yeah, here's $15 million. Shut up, or we're gonna put stuff on your computer.
Right. Or something's going to happen to a member of your family.
Yep, it's all real
Hmm.
because they know how to get you.
Right.
I have an arraignment in January. It's not even a legal arraignment. This is my second one. So, well, I'm actually
Yeah.
going to bring this up because we're going to go public. Well, one, I was in a car. They tried to kill me in 2016. I was mind
Wow.
controlled for decades. They put a hit on me in 2016, and then none of that worked because I told them, you can't kill me. I don't care if you kill me. I don't care. I mean, if you kill me, you do me a favor, so they know that. So what they do is they find everyone has it. They find your weakest point. And for me, it's my animals. So they're
Right.
targeting, they're making their own laws up, and I'm being dragged to the mud. And this is my second criminal arraignment for being a farm. Yeah.
It's so ridiculous. It's
But
so
that's how
ridiculous.
they do
Like
it. That's how they attack people.
I know, I just can't. It's infuriating to watch. Like I just don't. You are a farm. You should have chickens.
We're gonna
I
shame
mean, like,
we're gonna make the town of Clinton famous. And I'll
yeah,
tell you,
should be.
there is I have the names and everything. So in Massachusetts, right? There's another like not small town, but it's a pretty good sized town. This is the stuff they're doing. The town of Shrewsbury. So they're going through the Board of Health. All of your Board of Healths are corrupt.
Yes,
Part of the MK. That's
absolutely.
all part of the deep. All this medical shit. It's all part of the anyway. So we went to we as a group I belong to, and we've been fighting the Shrewsbury Board of Health. The Shrewsbury Board of Health is now silencing anyone. No one can disagree with or anything they say. And they have a Department of Defense operative that goes to their meetings. This is a small, reasonable middle-sized town in Massachusetts. Why is there a Department of Defense operative attending Board of Health meetings?
That's crazy.
The day I went with the group in silent protest, the Department of Defense guy, and I have his name. We like to make that guy famous too. Have his name.
Sure.
Oh yeah, we will. And don't you be surprised. People don't think they're watching, baby. Oh, they're watching. We know who he is. I know who he is. We know where he lives. We know who he is. So, the next day, my town filed an arraignment against me when I hadn't heard from them in months.
Wow.
This is deep
Yeah.
state. All tentacles entwined. And I'm not afraid of them.
Hmm.
Nope. Nope.
No
So
reason.
no reason. No. But that's what they do. They find your weakest, like when they used the Men in Black to try to kill Eeka. Because Luis
Right.
remote viewed that. That's the only reason I would have hit with me. Luis is like, holy shit. She's like, watch out. They're trying to get him. And some of the ETs that are working. And I'm like, oh no. And that's when I realized what they were doing. And I told him, I said, dude, like, don't get it. He got really angry, I'm like, because they came after me. So that's his weakest point.
Yeah.
Will's weakest point is you.
Yep.
So if they're going to try to get him, they're going to go through you. That's how they're going to do. That's how
Yeah.
they operate. He got
That's what they
it
do.
worked, and it works because you don't expect it, because you become a
Right.
monk. So he got fucked and pissed off like you can't believe. And I'm like, dude, that's gonna hit me. Like, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to trip you up. This was a setup. This was bait.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's why we all have to work together with these different pings, because these guys are good. And
And
yeah.
bad at the same time.
Oh, they're just you should love them and thank them for offering that. They're just, you wanted this in your life. They're helping your fucked up, broken soul to experience physicality. Yeah, dude. Okay, you do you, right? Yeah, you do you. No judgment no, on that guy. I mean, you can keep smoking whatever you're smoking, but yeah, yeah. It's like this is the violence channel. So we advocate, ass kicking, but yeah, we advocate ass kicking. But we love you at the same time.
Yeah,
We love you, right? We're gonna
we
kick your
love you while we kick your ass.
great love. Yeah, that's how. Oh my God, yeah. That's like, Jesus. Unbelievable.
Well, I think that this has been a very in-depth conversation, and and I think that hopefully people are with us or and are feeling it
You
too,
know, they are. They're all like, yeah, because I mean, our
Good.
viewers, Jesus, I'm waiting for some kick ass. So,
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get some interesting comments on this one, hopefully.
yeah.
So, and thanks everyone for even wanting me to be back. I just really thank you. I wasn't expecting
Because
that.
I've been begging you to come on and you've been too lazy.
Oh no, I have not been lazy. I have been working every single day.
That's right.
And yeah, I have a job. I have a day job, a regular jobby job. It's not a bad one. I like it. The people I work for are really, really nice and young millennial types. They know how to treat their employees in a nicer, kinder way. They're more human, like they're more about helping humanity to me, like trying to help you out and more real. So I like that. But yeah. So anyway, I've been doing that. That's been keeping me busy during the weeks, and then I have to, of course, anybody who works full time, you all know how it is. You work all week, and then on the weekends you try to squeeze everything in that you couldn't do on the weekdays because you were working. So um, that's what I've been up to, and yeah. So that's what between doing the laundry and cleaning up my house and pulling out my winter wardrobe and making my own shampoo
Yeah.
and and showing people how to make their own tooth polish and harvesting mimosa blossoms off of a tree to make a mimosa tea, which is called happiness tea. And the reason it's called happiness tea is because it actually it has whatever it is contains something in there to give you a better mood. It balances your mood and gives you anybody who's got PTSD or something that anxiety, something like that, it helps with that. It's just a natural, and I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm just saying it's just a natural thing that's out there. If you have a mimosa tree or you know somebody who does, these little, look it up. It's these little red flowers that grow on the blossoms that grow on the tree, and you can harvest them. They're free. You just put them on a flat surface, let them dry out, and then put them in a airtight jar for in a cool, dry place for tea for later, and then you'll feel great. So
That's just for entertainment purposes only because we love big pharma, just so everybody knows.
yeah, allegedly they make
Entertainment,
you feel better.
that's
Allegedly it gives you a better mood.
that's for
Yeah.
entertainment
I
purposes.
mean, I'm not a doctor, so I
Right.
don't know anything. I'm
Absolutely.
really, you have to be a doctor to actually know
Absolutely.
anything. You have to have a PhD in, some kind of medicine to really
Oh,
know anything
from
at all.
conventional.
Or you should not speak on it. You shouldn't even
No,
mention it
no,
or talk
very
about
bad.
it.
No, very bad.
No, especially not on the internet.
No, that's
So, yeah, allegedly.
always consult big pharma.
Or your doctor
Oh, indeed.
first, and then
Absolutely.
big pharma.
Or the commercials on TV because they probably have
Right.
that are right for you.
Oh
They come
yeah, they
for the
have something
commercial
that's
or
right for
something.
you.
They have something that's right for you.
Oh, they have something that's right for your wallet and their wallets
That's a
for
win.
sure.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. No,
This
seriously,
is so,
they take you down. They do. They take you down. Yeah.
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 So yeah, so I just put all this stuff out there to help people, and then they'll probably, you know, put me in jail for doing that soon, I'm sure.
Seriously.
Anyway.
They will. They will.
No, I'm not trying to manifest that. All you people out there that are like, don't say it. You're gonna manifest it. No, I'm not trying to manifest it. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to jail. They can kiss my lily white ass.
They're trying to put me in jail.
They're trying to put you in jail, but they're not going to
Literally. They're like,
be able to do that. No,
literally. They're like, literally.
that's not going to happen.
I feel kind of like badass though. Like, yeah.
Yeah, you could have some
It's
street cred.
fun going in the court. This is my second arraignment, so it's fun going in the court.
Yeah, you could start writing some rap songs, and
Yeah.
you have street cred, and you're
The last time I was
you're
there.
gangsta.
Oh yeah, they do. They know me because they do know me there. I've been there like 4 times now. So, though the last time I went in, that was an arraignment, and then
Mm.
the cop dude, like some fat cop guy, was there, like in the courtroom, right? And I was with my lawyer, and he was like, "Miss," and I was getting a seat, like because you have to sit before you get called up.
Hmm.
So yeah, so I'm just picking out a seat, right? And he's like, "You miss." He's like, "I want you up front." I'm like, "Fuck you." And my lawyer's like, "Oh, good, we got the best seats." He's a rebel. My lawyer is really awesome. He's a rebel. But it was like just total harassment. Like he's
Yeah.
the only one, and everybody else there was like alcoholic. I mean, drugs. There was assault. I mean, one guy was in handcuffs. I mean, it was like it's an arraignment. So I was the only person he called up front. And his
Ow.
attitude was like, "I want to watch you," you know.
I want to watch you because you have chickens.
Yeah, yeah, basically, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
These other guys, they've killed people, they've
yeah,
done, but
yeah.
you have chickens.
That's exactly their exactly their attitude.
Oh my God.
We're gonna like make the town of Clinton, Massachusetts famous. I'm gonna I'm gonna come on here. I'm gonna name all the Board of Health people. I'll
Mm,
make a special video. We're gonna make them fucking famous. You better believe it.
good.
I've
They
already told
deserve
them.
it.
They were like they were stalking my house. They were
Mm,
stalking my house and stalking even my neighbor's house. He got them on video. They
mm.
trespassed on people's property. They lied under oath like 3 times.
Yeah.
They falsified information under oath. Yeah,
Hmm.
they're
That's
trash.
what they do. That's what they do.
They're
Yeah.
freaking, well, they're gonna be famous for all the stuff that they do. So keep doing it, bitches. We're gonna make you guys.
Yep.
Yep. They're afraid of me though. They never come near me. They're so and they're right. They're like, because I ran them down. I ran them down and I swore at them and I just like freaking took them out and they couldn't wait to run away from me. Crazy. I'm like, oh yes, you have no idea.
That's
You have
wild.
no idea. Yeah, yeah. I pulled a gun on
Well,
them.
you pulled a gun on them. That's awesome.
I'm licensed to carry. Yeah.
Well, good. See, you're a rebel. I knew
Oh,
you were a rebel.
yeah. I have no problems.
I
No,
love it.
I have no problems with that, baby. Mm-mm.
They're trespassing.
They were trust. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got it.
You got to be gangsta sometimes.
Oh, I was born. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I probably didn't come out with a gun.
She came out shooting.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah. 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 I'm a lone wolf.
Mm, I feel you, sister.
Yeah, I think this is probably like one of the only, I don't know, one of the only like ET channels that's like fucking blow them up. Or like, yeah, yeah. Well, Louise's Chola, she's a fighter. She flies
Mm.
scouts. Yeah. The women are excellent. We got such hatred
Mhm.
in man, we can fucking
Passion.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It's sheer because I think the men it's like an ego thing sometimes for the guys, you know. I'm a
Yeah.
fighter craft, I'm a fighter craft pilot, you know. But for the women, it's like just hatred. We're like lazy, take them out, you know. We're like
Yeah.
anger that like you take the anger and you just like, you know,
Target. Yeah.
oh, for sure. It's a zen. You get like in the zen.
Yeah. 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 Because you're not like cursing and swearing while you're doing it. You're just doing it. You're just like,
So
boop,
good.
he's done. Boop.
Yep. And it's just I mean the sensations in your body is just sheer bliss. It's like delight.
Mm.
You're just power.
Yeah.
Amazing sense of power.
Hmm.
Love it. I love it. Yeah. Yeah. That's why they don't give me a ship. I'll be using that baby. I mean, they'd be like blowing everybody up, you know. Sheep would be running. Oh my God. I'd be like, invasion. Yeah, I got you too. Okay. Just be picking everybody off, you know. Just for fun though.
Mm.
No harm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love and light.
That's why the population of Earth just fell.
Mm.
Oh, we can dream.
Yes. And we do.
And we and we do.
We're dreamers.
Yep.
I won't sing this song, we'll get a copyright strike.
Oh yeah, that's I already had one from Louise.
Yeah. I would love to sing that song, but I can't. So, oh well. Mm. Yes.
I suppose with this we should probably wish all of our viewers, who probably now are all jazzed up and ready to like, yeah, we're spreading my ship.
We just got them all riled up and now we're gonna be
But
like, bye. Love you, bye.
yeah, no, you want that power. Yeah, you want that power. Yeah, yeah. So wishing everyone, as always, abundance, bliss, power, no fear. Yes, right. Uh, and only listen to yourself. All right. Thanks again.
Namaste.
I'm just,
Namaste.
yeah, right. Good. See you guys.
Love you, bye.